We've been doing IT for 10 years. Review of System Shock Remake 2023, PC, PS5, Xbox X. $1 billion case when a game is made for 10 years and in the end they manage to finish and release it. I'll say more, this game can even be played. And what else do you need? During this time, we have gone far ahead, so the games of 2013 look fresher than modern ones. And despite the fact that we have waited for an interesting game for some time, and not a donut Greenadolka, toxic whiners on YouTube are still being presented for some kind of boredom, complexity, stuffiness and monotony. Say thank you that you were able to launch this game at all, and give you something interesting. Zazralis in one word. Let's start with the advantages of a fresh remake of Shock Remake systems. Cool graphics. This is where the advantages end in general. I am a great connoisseur and a fan of Shock systems. Although I have not played it yet, I tried to run the first part through the emulator, but I couldn't play beyond the start screensaver. The game froze. But these impressions are enough to tell the whole truth about the novelty. Hellish development. The game was made for 10 years. I wonder why it took so long. Nowadays, monopolies rivet 100 games a year and give out junk for new items, putting a postscript remake in the title. It's good that this game is not like that. Or is it like this? The Europeans started doing it, then the Americans did it, then the Chinese, then the Americans again. As if the game is some kind of elite prostitute to whom different countries played hot potatoes in the hope that someone else will finish it, but there was no way. Either there was no money, either direct hands or glue does not insert like that anymore. I don't understand what could have been done there for 10 years. If the original was made in a year and the remake did not go far from it in development. The whole plot is still written in the form of text, the opponents are still stupid and die one by one, the pumping is still poor, and the errands for the keys to the delight of the fans have remained unchanged. This is the highest degree of idiocy, but at the same time I admire it. Nowadays, studios are riveting hundreds of games a year, and these losers spent 10 years remaking a rotten game from the 90s played by 3 cripples back then on release. With that, there are rumors that these cripples are 2 developers and their mother. Modern buzzers do not know what kind of shock there is for the systems. For them, this is one of those fairy tales that my dad used to tell when he came home from the Red Thong bar. Cool graphics. Everything is prettier, and even the graphics, instead of bright gray, brown shades, we have such a standard dark neon cyberpunk, in which it is more difficult to find your hand than it seems. The work was wild. Updated the floors, walls, and even added some kind of fog, a whisperer on the maximum. Only for the sake of such technologies is it worth playing this game. But behind all this cool graphics, the soul and the original atmosphere disappeared somewhere. It came out too dark and gloomy. The original is not about that. It is quite light. There are few dark places in it, and the movement is always within sight, partly because in the original the drawing is 2 steps and everything else is in the fog of war. Immediately, the drawing was expanded, which caused the feeling of uncertainty to be lost, and the locations are felt not by a large scale, but by small cells. But it became better, more atmospheric, too complicated. Honest reviewers of Shock Remake systems began to underestimate the ratings and cheat in the comments. Complicated. This is Dark Souls from the world of indie games. Give such people the opportunity to play without a minimap, hints, and do not let them by the handle. They will get lost in their bathroom. Well, I'm sorry that there is no guidebook in the small rooms. They probably forgot about it. For me, such reviews are very fake. They were looking for something to cling to. There is nothing better than complexity. Because it's hard to cling to the rest. The game, like the original, is quite easy. If you read the description of the items, do not throw them around, and play carefully. If you release the entire clip into the wall, then problems may arise in any game. Complexity was the main feature of the original, so no one played it. If you simplify the game, the whole point of wagering will be lost, and it will be too boring to pass. And so it makes sense to collect effective builds. Gameplay like 30 years ago. This game is the only and unique of its kind, a bum simulator in outer space. According to the plot, the main character is a young hacker who tried to shoplift the local delivery of soy milk. As a result, some lizards grabbed him and sent him to ride a juvenile in a space prison. Finally, modern children have a bright idol, close to the people. And not these licked emasculated cockerels of yours, who run errands for someone all the game. I'm not surprised by such a plot, I see it every day in real life. And here is our silent porridge snotty. Learn to shoot, crawl with cancer, loot corpses, hack different systems. Think about it, the highest nation of highly developed aliens has only 2 types of hacking. It's to connect the pipes and properly let the blue water. With such technologies, you can capture the Earth in 2 minutes. To say that the main character is stuffy is nothing to say. He is silent all the time, and we probably have to imagine ourselves in his place. The remake needs to be upgraded. I know these crowds of fanatics who whine if you add something new to the game and diversify the routine. they will immediately start shouting, "Yes, you have ruined everything, return it as it was." If you return it as it was, they will start saying Coco is not canon, it was better before. What are you doing? You already have a delivery of good money here and give you the original, which is older than yourself. As a result, they just throw fresh graphics on an outdated game, and here are these hype whistles. There are all sorts of rays, shadows, voluminous DLSS and other words that I do not know. And then we play stuffy hide and seek in narrow corridors, labyrinths the whole game. In the 90s, because of the weak development of technology and just weak development, they could not fill the game with something diverse and dynamic with some kind of chase, staging, something unusual, so they simply molded long and empty locations and trivial tasks like go back and forth for a key. This key will open the door that at the very beginning. The developers of the remake thought that it was for this that the fans loved the original and did the same in the remake. That is, filler dancing and finding the key in the dark will now be here, taking up only 70% of the playing time. When we are not shooting robots and zombies in a dark alley, and we are not hacking another intercom to pick up 2 hidden cartridges in the trash, we are constantly running back and forth for far-fetched reasons, just not to move to the exit of this homeless shelter. How interesting it is, decide for yourself. I personally have a lot of fun. But I was disappointed that in the original there were more branches and types of pumping. 15 classes were abolished to 5. Here, collect a tank or a dodger. You will go through the whole game without thinking much, just maxi grenades and that's it. Play. They gave me a machine gun. Is your father a clay miner by any chance? Not. Then why did he put the weapon in the shock system? The key mechanics in the game is shooting, and this is the most disgusting mechanics of all that there is. The weight of the weapon is not felt, there is no recoil. Shooting here is not fun, but dull. Someone will say, but this game is not about shooting, it's about hiding in the corridors. Here you don't even have to learn to shoot. What's in the head, what's in the body, the damage is one. You can just throw grenades and run to score the poor devils with a rusty pipe. It's much more fun than shooting several bursts at one robot from paper pistols, and he will take you down for one spit. Such a cyber dad. Realism is our everything. Heroes, and where do they live? In this game, the main character is the one we are playing for. I understand this already a lot, but I would like someone else. The villain managed to merge. He appears as quickly as he dies. There are a couple of oncoming robots and aliens, but you forget about them when you crawl into the next corridor. That is, we have a game about space and the future here, but all we do is suffer from bullshit. Interesting characters are not found. Everyone wants to kill us, and robots stupidly troll us, confuse us, and do not show where the exit is from here. The optimization of the game is good. This time you can do without 4090. A budget video card for 40,000 is enough. The plot is intriguing, but it does not develop that we are crawling like a crustacean at the beginning, weakly pumped, dead, and barely holding a gun in our hands. So will it be at the end? There is no progress. In my opinion, the game lacks some new chips and dilution of gameplay. Here are the same boss fights to take. How do they differ from ordinary enemies? Yes, just because they have more HP and size. That's IT. Why not add some interesting extras to the game? Quests, various bosses, interesting heroes, unexpected plot twists, and more weapons. The game lacks variety. It gets boring after a couple of hours. We've already seen everything, tried everything, and they won't give us anything new until the very end of the game. As a result, many people will start the game, but only such beaten-off fans of 90s games like me will finish it. Modern Buzzer will quickly throw the game. He will not read the descriptions and build himself a good build. He will just throw the game. As a result, we have a comical situation. The game will not enter a new audience because of the monotony and old schoolness, and the fans of the original have already died of old age. As a result, a great game will not please the wrong ones. Some will be waiting for hype and movement, others for the development of the original ideas, but there is no wrong thing in the game and there will not be. I still hope the game will go to the developers in a plus and they will make the next part more dynamic and diverse. I didn't say about the music. The music here seems to be at a typical rave in rural Russia in the 90s. That is, such a hard techno, which at tense moments still begins to play bass to the beat. Well, 10-10. I immediately remembered my youth, how we used to be in the camps under I'm your drug Shpalota does not understand. What do I want? I want you to buy this game, or at least just download it, because of all the pile that I have reviewed this year. This pile is the most edible. And maybe in another 10 years it will evolve into something interesting and original, and we will not crawl through dark corridors remembering our difficult childhood.